Good morning. Thank you for coming back to listen to our junk. So, welcome to the Echoes podcast, where we talk about Jesus and all of our junk.
Welcome to week 3.
Woo!
We're back. So thanks for everyone that's been tuning in.
Oh, let's do this.
But I didn't hear that, so that just sounded weird. Thank you to everyone that's watched our first 2 episodes and given us feedback, the comments, the encouragement. We appreciate it. So we're working through the logistics of recording and when and how and all the things.
Oh,
And
it's so fun trying to be a married couple and 47 kids at home and a new grandbaby still in the hospital and just making the time. It's rough sometimes. And then I come in here this morning. I recorded some by myself, but I was really just making fun of her. She don't know it. She's on the phone because we're in her office also. She's on the phone and I'm over here recording, talking smack about her behind her back, literally.
I didn't notice any of that. So, but yeah, and then you pick a day that you're going to record, and um, yeah, my junk is yesterday we were going to record, and I was in a great mood, and then today we're going to record because we didn't
We tried
yesterday.
about 3 times
Yeah,
yesterday.
and my schedule got in the way, but I wake up today and I'm just not in a good mood.
And I'm like not up this early ever.
Yeah, so
And where we're at too in Alabama, it's an hour behind Georgia, so it's not 8 o'clock quite yet. But I normally haven't been getting up till later in the morning.
So that's our devotion today was the topic of denying yourself and when you make commitments, and this is the day. I'm like, honestly, in my mind I felt like I didn't want to record the podcast because I'm not in a good mood. And that's gonna probably be revealed in just myself, as it already has been. But it goes right along with our devotion this morning, which was deny yourself. And um, one of the verses was John 15:11. The greatest love is shown when people lay down their lives for their friends. In that context, that could be applied to everyone, but especially in our home.
For sure.
That's where it's the hardest.
It's, oh my gosh, it's the hardest at home with especially with our children. They just, of course, want to one up each other and argue about every single thing that, like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter, but they'll argue about it. But yeah, I wanted to choose this because we read a couple of devotionals, but this one stood out to me this morning about denying yourself and putting Jesus first. Comment how many times you put Jesus first, or you put yourself first, or you put others first. Which one is it? And be truthful about it, because I will tell you right now, I definitely normally don't put Jesus first.
It's an afterthought. It's
It's
what you have to work at.
yes, and I'll I'll I am selfish. I'm a I want it. I'm a spoiled brat growing up. Um, my my parents, you'd have to know the whole backstory, but I was adopted, and my parents had an older son, and him and his wife had moved out, pretty much. So I grew up in the house by myself, and I was a spoiled brat, and
So I,
it hasn't changed.
so I get to thank my mother-in-law for my biggest spoiled brat
Yeah.
that I'm still raising.
So that I mean, just
But the truth is, we're all like that if we get honest. I
true,
mean,
but
it's
like it's that to me, it does create selfishness in adults. When you have kids, you can't really be selfish because you have kids, so they need to be your priority. But Jesus needs to come first, then your wife, then your kids,
yeah.
then whatever else below that. That needs to be how the tier is.
Well, in the context of the devotion, leads into living a life that is fulfilled by serving others. Because when you deny yourself and you lay yourself and your wants down, but you're willing to put Jesus first, is to truly put others first.
Right.
And for me as a mom, like I know that I serve selflessly my family, but it's very easy to get in that self-pity mode, like, don't you see everything that I do, don't you all see everything that I do, and begin begin to elevate myself in what I know God's just naturally called me to do, which is to be a mother and a wife, and run this household in our day to day.
She does it very well.
Well, thank you. But
She's amazing.
I mean, that's where I was Monday when we said we had one of our deep talks, and we both were like, "Whoa, why weren't we recording that?" But
Yeah.
I think some of those moments are just for us. But I was having a moment, and it can get overwhelming. But again, there's no greater joy and fulfillment that I find than taking care of my family, even if some days it's it does seem as if it's unnoticed and unappreciated. But I also know that that's that's the enemy's attack, because I have to continue to remind myself that I have a husband who's grateful, and my kids in their own way are grateful, because I think we have to be taught gratitude.
Absolutely.
And that's how you end up raising kids who are not spoiled brats,
Right.
is to keep them in a place of gratitude. And
We're right on the verge
we're
of
right there. Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to give, do, and then you've created these monsters.
yeah.
I mean, and honestly, just like this week, being able to say, okay, our kids have a set list of chores that they have to do every day, and it's very clear. It's on the refrigerator. But this week, because Ashton's recovering, so she, even as an adult that lives in our home, she has chores too. But because she's recovering, her someone else has to step in. And so yesterday, instead of me getting all huffy and puffy, I just said to all of them, "This is what we're going to do. Everyone else has something extra to do this week." And it's taken Ashton stuff off of her while she recovers, and I just split it all up between the three of them. But there was a moment where I was going to do it, be overwhelmed by it, and then probably inadvertently be upset with everybody because I'm overwhelmed, when I just stopped and said, humility has to come in. And that's part of denying myself, is being humble enough to say, okay, Aubrey, I need you to do this. And then when the boys got home, I was very clear, this week you have additional stuff to do. I'm not going to do it. I mean, you all three are capable of helping
Yeah.
above and beyond what the list says.
Yeah. And I did hear feedback from them. So I'm I don't know. The parenting thing is different with, of course, with us. I get sideways with them, and that's all I have to do. And for the most part, that's really all I have to do, and then they do what they're supposed to. Mom, poor thing, she can't do it. She could take a belt. I mean, just saying, and just fling it everywhere, and they would just stand there and laugh at her, basically. And all I have to do is pretty much look at them,
Like
and
just raise up off the couch and
yeah,
they're scurrying to do what they're supposed to. I'm like,
that's another talk. Um, but yeah, denying back to denying yourself, like to have joy, put Jesus first, others second, and yourself last. So, like I said, I'm a selfish person. I say that all the time. Jess says I'm not. I'm really not, but I really am because if I see something and I want it, like I want to get it.
but that's
But
yeah. I
but
mean
it's
that we have
in
different definitions of selfishness. That's not to me because I. So what does it talk about here? Jesus understood that it is fundamentally fulfilling to live in service to others, and that living only for yourself will lead to emptiness and disappointment. So you're I would consider what yes spoiled more so than selfish because I see you just what it says there, like you live in service to others in a capacity that most do not even see. Like your acts of service are behind the scenes a lot, but to you give of yourself, you give to Jesus, you give to your family. So, being spoiled, yes, I do come into agreement with that. But to be selfish is no, you as well as myself consistently put ourselves aside for the sake of what we know Jesus would want from us and what the other people in our lives need. And you never require to be acknowledged or a pat on the back.
no.
And that's the revelation of your selflessness because
I don't.
even
Yeah.
people who serve sometimes are still selfish because they want to be rewarded for it. They
Yeah.
want Jesus himself to reward them, and then they want everyone else to know. That's why not only did Jesus make it clear that it is fulfilling to serve, but you're also supposed to do for others without other people knowing, and that's
Yeah.
one of
That's
the
that's one thing I can't stand is yeah doing something, and it's happened before, and past the pastor of the church will stand. Of course, he's up there in front of everybody, and then says, "Oh, that they've done this." Like, yeah, I don't want that. Like, I don't put that on me like that. It doesn't matter what I've done.
yeah.
Yeah, it. I done it to help spread the gospel, or to help. I mean, it's still either way. It's to help spread the gospel. It's either videoing the pastor, posting it up on all the sites, whatever, and whatever else in the background that we do for our church, for our, I mean that's for
Well,
our ministry.
when we desire to be elevated for things that we're doing in service, I think that the overall mission of it begins to get overlooked.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
being thankful and grateful and honoring someone for what they're doing, I get is important. But and we serve in a church too. Now we're in a church where it's yeah. I mean, our pastor's stance on that is, and we're in agreement with that, is to never, even for the church, for it to never be known what the church is to an extent doing. But again, that just puts it keeps Jesus at the forefront. So
That's
I
right.
think too, understanding your giftings and why using your gifts in the church is so important. Using our gifts are not to elevate the person, but to edify and encourage and build up the church. So when you have the gifts of administration, which we both have, and those are like the behind the scenes things, um, you're calling to the media ministry and anything administrative, all of that stuff is so it's overlooked. I mean, but why is it talked about as a gift, a service to the church? Because functionally wise, it's necessary.
Yeah.
But it's overlooked. I mean, it's not one of those gifts that get the accolades, I guess. But truly, none of us should be getting accolades. Jesus should,
That's
in
right.
any capacity. So that's where I see your selflessness is in the way that you serve, and um, not only the church, but us as well, your family.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Definitely don't think of it that way.
I mean,
But
I'm still in agreement that you're spoiled.
I'm definitely am.
That's why I
Rub my
budget.
back.
That's why I budget the money, and not you.
Oh yeah, if I was to deal with the money, we'd be living in a cardboard box somewhere,
We would,
or
yeah,
we'd be living in the Jeep.
we would have the motorcycles, and
Yeah,
that would be
we would actually we went and looked at some campers. Not buying a camper by
no.
no
We went to
means.
look,
We just went to
just
look,
yeah,
and they
window
had
shopping
this.
stuff we can't afford.
Yeah, they had like an actual cargo trailer that had some bunks that lay down on, that folded up on the wall, had a little sink and kitchen area. And I'm like, that's perfect. Two motorcycles will fit right there, and the Jeep will pull it. We're
Yeah,
done. We're
that's.
selling the house.
And then I had to remind him we're just looking.
No, then had to remind us that we have an 11-year-old.
Yeah,
The other two, whatever. And then Ashton, eh, before Mateo was here. But now we had to come back to reality. Yeah, we got other human beings we gotta watch and take care of.
okay, you just sounded selfish. I have to remind myself of that daily. Um, so we had a couple of we had some feedback, a couple of comments, and kind of veering off, but not really because it's the same subject. But just circling back around to last week, and I think we've discussed it in the first two episodes, and that is our season of doing a devotion together and talking. And we really wanted that to truly be an encouragement to others in your own marriage. But I want to say that if you watched and listened to episode 1 and 2, but your marriage is not there or where you want it to be, it's okay. Like that's just something to continue to take to Jesus's feet and ask for his help in, because we haven't been even in this season very long. Um,
I do want to say, 'cause we were definitely going to talk about this, but men, especially, ladies, if you're listening, Send this to your husbands, boyfriends, whatever. Guys, we can't read minds. Our wives, girlfriends don't know that. You have to ask them and talk to them. Sometimes it's a little hard. It definitely is. Like you have to like get her in the headlock and give her a noogie and be like, what is it? But
Well, and I believe that us having this time together where we are intentionally communicating, there's no other distractions. Like, I
you
mean,
have
you
to
have to
take
be
that
intentional
time.
about it.
That's for sure because she will come back here to this desk and
Yeah,
she's off to work. And
I mean,
I,
that's really what happened yesterday.
yeah, and then she'll do that. And then I guess how women's brains work, she had 47 million other things that she had to do in the house, going back and forth. And I'm just sitting over here, like, twiddling my thumbs, like, are we going to do this or what? Well, about an hour later, I was like, yeah, I guess this is not
no,
happening.
not today. Mission impossible. But so with that, the point there is, yes, being intentional. So I have to be intentional to shut everything else out. We all do.
Men
And
also,
yeah, I mean, so there's always a to-do
and
list.
talking to your wife isn't a bad thing. Like, I know a lot of guys when, and I'll mess with her when she's like, we got to talk about something. I'm like, oh, God, no.
No, his reaction always is, yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
it, I mean, we're gonna talk about it, but yeah, probably not.
That's probably not what I want to do.
But so we're different in that sense, where, and he says he's not a talker or a communicator, but that's not true. It's got to be the right time and the right place.
Yeah.
And just same for me. Yesterday was, yeah, it just wasn't happening. I wasn't there. But back to the way it's enriched our marriage is, even in our day to day, we begin to recognize, this is for me, that it's okay to table things until we're both in a place where I can say it the way it needs to be said and not in haste, or vice versa, and then you can receive it. And so we've actually been, this is for me, I've been like going through our day and something will come up, and then I'll just be like, okay, I'm just going to table that for our talk time. And
Yeah.
that's huge for me because usually I'm like, right, we're going to deal with this right now, right here. I don't
And
care.
again, we're not perfect by any
This is our
means.
junk.
Yeah, we don't fight. We'll bicker, like you could say, more than anything, and I antagonize that in her.
Apparently, there's this new term. I've only recently heard it, but apparently, my whole family loves to rage bait me,
Oh, we
and they're like all
love
in on
it.
it, and
And it's
then
so
they
easy.
wonder why I go there, and then they're just like, we did this, but that, yeah, he antagonizes.
We were going, this is a little side note. We were going to the hospital the other day and we stopped at Chick-fil-A, and one of the people that worked there, I heard him tell somebody inside, he was like, rage. He's like, I love to rage bait people. I waited till he brought us our food, and I'm like, did you say that? He said, I said that in my head. I said, I heard you say it. And he was like, oh yeah, I did say it out loud. I said, man, I said, I love doing that too because just to get the reaction out of people, and especially her.
That's awful.
So it was pretty funny though that other people were talking about the same thing that we do here
Yeah.
in totally different area.
So learning to openly communicate, and that there's a time and place, it's more productive. I mean, obviously stuff has to be dealt with sometimes right then. We're not like tabling everything, but and we don't fight. And I struggle really when we do fight it because it's so
We've only
it's
had,
so rare that it just
yeah,
feels like
like
we're in a what is this and how do I navigate
a
it?
legit fight. Like, this is, I'm gonna put my junk out there because I'm who I am. I'm not scared to say it, but I was taking a whole lot of testosterone, and me breathing myself would really just piss me off. I would, I was rage baiting
Talk about
myself.
being rage baited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that
So
is a rough
we
time.
were leaving one day, and we didn't even get to our neighbor's driveway, and I told her to stop the car because I was getting out, and I did, and and our kids were still at home, and they were arguing over the remote control. I came in the house and snatched the TV off the wall. That way, that now what are they gonna fight for or over? Of course, I felt like a real yahoo afterwards, but that in that moment there was so much testosterone in my body that it didn't matter even then. And then, like, yeah, our that was one of our huge fights because I was
Yeah, the way
just
that you acting.
maxed out on testosterone.
Well, that was a whole season that
Yeah,
we overcame, and I mean, looking back now, it's part of our testimony. But that was
it
a
was
hard
rough.
couple. I think what 4 or 5 months back in 2023, and still getting through those health issues. But again, that's why what I started was saying, if you are married and you are being encouraged by us, like this isn't where we've always been.
Yeah,
God's brought us to this place. And if you are praying for your marriage, whether it's you're the wife or you're the husband, that just let me encourage you. Every marriage goes through seasons. And if you continue to put God first, regardless of the season that you're in, and as a wife, to continue to be a godly wife, even when your spouse isn't representing Christ the way that he should in your home,
and he's spiraling out of control.
that's who we're called to be. If that is the true submissive godly wife that's talked about in scripture, isn't being a good godly wife when he's doing all the things that he should be doing. It's being the good godly wife when he needs you to be to stand in the gap for him and for your marriage. And so, again, we've watched a lot of podcasts. I mean, there's particular couples that I enjoy watching, and I've thought to myself,
Chris and Peaches, I'm just gonna throw them out there
yeah, they're
to be better.
I mean, they really have some good stuff. I don't think it's Christian. They're like right on the cusp.
Yeah,
It's more spirituality. But anyways, it's easy to watch somebody and think and then compare ourselves, but our heart is for you to, if you're being, it's to be encouraged, not to be um condemned, or to think, oh
yeah,
wow, like why
we're
can't we
definitely
do
not
this?
condemning
No,
anyone.
like it's
I
we
mean,
haven't always been here, and
yeah,
we praise God that we are now, and to just share it with other couples because it can be done. I mean, praying with one another, like we went through a whole long season where it was just weird, awkward.
yeah,
Like, why, what, how do we even do
and
this?
it is like because I was never there like previously, and yeah, praying out loud with someone and anyone, no matter what. I was like, nah, that's not, nah,
Yeah.
nah, not doing that. But like right. I mean, before we started this, the the recording, we prayed,
And there's so
and
much significance to just praying with each other. I mean, it doesn't have to be these long, drawn out things,
no,
but for me, I begin to truly feel the covering.
I my prayer, like, and it mostly all the time, it's pretty much the same. I pray that God protects my wife and my children, that I don't have to hurt someone for them, because that's what I would do. But as and now as a grandparent, like, there's these two little bitty humans that are like, man, I could spend all my time with them. Like our kids, like, whatever. But the grandkids, like, it's so much different, because once they start acting up, you can send them home. The other ones, all you can do is send
Still
them to their
raising.
room.
So that's our encouragement for this week is the open communication as a couple and praying. And, one of the things too is when you get intentional about communicating with one another and and praying with one another, it's planting seeds and then our kids. So, we pray together every night as a family, but where it used to be, and it still is a lot of times where we have to, it's like you're gonna be voluntold to pray, but then there's moments like last night before we even got together to pray. Levi asked, "Can I lead prayer tonight?" Like he had something specific he wanted us to pray about, and so we go through waves where and be encouraged in that, parents, that you plant the seeds and then they just sprout here and there. It's not, you're not going to have this great fulfilled vineyard or field when we plant the seeds in our kids and they just start sprouting tiny little sprouts. It's so fulfilling because I mean that
Yes.
caught my attention. It's like one night we're having to threaten them all, like one of you are going to pray, whether you like it or not, which one, because I'm about to tell you who it is. And sometimes we do put them on the spot, like, okay, since no one offered it up, then you're going to pray. But then there's the little sprout, and you have one that says, "Can I lead prayer tonight?" And the same way with reading scripture, we're going through Luke, and it's a hassle. It's hard to be intentional and sit down with them and start reading scripture. And but then when you see the light bulbs go off, and then you see it's like now they're arguing about who's going to read first.
Yeah.
Well, last week none of you wanted to read, and there's a little sprout. So the same thing for our marriage. Again, I just keep saying, like, we haven't always been here, but God knew even through the hard seasons. He knows our
He
hearts.
was getting us ready for this.
Yes. And we go through the hard seasons. We go through the junk together, and now we're at a place where
And
it's like
guys,
answered
it's
prayers.
way easier to go through your junk, whatever you want to call it, with your person, right? It's I when me and Jessica met, like, I know this is a little much too, but I was not in the place where I was just trying to hook up. I'd been in a stupid, horrible marriage, and I so I told her, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So we our first date, we oh, we
It was
sat
7 years ago this week.
we sat there for 3 hours or something at a Texas Roadhouse. And like, I just met her literally. We texted a few times, and then like I unloaded, like I just
Okay.
like unloaded, all, just spewed out all this junk, and I was like, she probably ain't gonna talk to me ever again after all that. But she did, so I
Yeah.
was like, huh.
We both laid it out on the table.
And here we are now. Yeah, 7 years later.
7 years. So yeah, the first time we met each other was around Thanksgiving, and then the first second week of December, and that's been 7 years. But even in that moment, so if you look back and recognize, like, we already were equipped to communicate. I mean, in like when you can sit down on
Yeah,
a first date and talk for 3 hours about all your junk. I mean, we weren't like talking about the weather. Like we
yeah,
went deep, and for me, I had just gotten the boys back, was rebuilding my life, was being very intentional about what I was and wasn't going to do, and who I was and wasn't going to do it with. And I mean, I just remember walking away thinking, like, I cannot believe that man sat and listened to all that I had just overcame and been through. We basically shared our testimonies with one
yeah.
another. And so, again, God always puts you with people, whether it's your spouse or those around you, because he sees in us what we don't even see, but that person will be utilized to bring that out. So
Right.
that's here we are 7 years later,
So
still
yeah,
talking.
yeah. And sometimes it has to be forced because I will be in a place where I don't want to, but
And learn that, ladies. I mean, that's, for me, learning that it's okay to table things until we're both in a better place doesn't mean that it's being overlooked or it's not important. That's where being empowered by the Holy Spirit comes in to say, the Lord has shown me that it's going to be more productive for both of us if I just table this for right now.
and if you're a blue collar guy, ladies, I'm gonna say this for them. Let them come in and take their boots off, shoes, whatever, however it is, and let them sit down and decompress from the day and just sit with them and don't even say anything. Just sit with them,
Yeah, it's
and
important.
that's to me that's like one of the best things. Just saying nothing and just being there for your husband.
And, I'm not a stay at home mom. I'm a working professional, but I work from home, so I am home. And even in that, it's very easy to be here all day and all the things happening and just like, I can't wait for him to get home, and then just me want to unload my stuff. And bro just like drove like 3 hours to get home and worked 8 hours before that. And like, yeah, learning that to let him come into his place of peace and find peace, not find complete chaos that he probably just spent all day dealing with on a different level. And then just learning to be together. But that's why these talks and these times and being intentional, I've learned that it's okay to wait and then circle back around to it when we're both ready to share and receive, with Jesus being right there in the midst
Yeah,
and not the flesh.
yeah, but cause I mean, and we watch, of course, it's all over social media, whatever. You have those couples that shows, yeah, the wife, soon as the husband like cracks the door open, she's standing there just
Has her
unloading
whole
all this.
laundry basket full of stuff.
Yeah, and like homegirl, you just got out of bed. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't have a job. You stay at home. And I'm
Not me,
just
but
kidding.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely not her. But so yeah, just give them a minute. Let them get in. Just sit down with them for a minute, like I said. Just 5 minutes. Just just let him know that you love him and you appreciate him. And men do the same for your wife. Like in that time, do that. And then maybe you could actually have a conversation with each other that's not super intense and just unloading about what happened in her day onto you, or you unloading what happened in your day onto her. Y'all can do it healthy and together.
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, together meaning on the same level. Because if you come in and your wife's like pretty much screaming at you about how your kids are and blah blah blah. The
They're
refrigerator,
your kids.
the refrigerator's not working. The washer
Get your
quit.
kids.
Oh, whatever. Like, yeah, just hold that for a second and come in. I guess gracefully would be the word. So
Yeah, you have to meet in the middle. So
yeah,
it circles back around to denying yourself. I mean, for some reason the coming home moments, yeah, those can be intense, and it's not learning to navigate those.
oh yeah,
What he needs and what I need. It's like it's like we're reconnecting for the day after we've been in our own realms of doing, and we both come into those with needs, and they're usually not compatible
right,
like that. I mean, that's the
yeah.
reality. So, I mean, speaking like again, not a stay-at-home mom, but a mother that is home all day, and it would be no different if I was out in the office. But it's still like when we get back together, it's meeting each other's needs in that moment because
And this is another thing you have to think about also. Your home is your safe place. Your wife is your safe space also, and you are her safe space. That's how it should be. So if y'all are butting heads as soon as you walk in the door every day, the husband, I'm gonna tell you right now, the husband was just gonna
shut
just
down.
just shut down and pretty much leave the chat. But
And wives, I mean, it's very easy in that moment to feel overlooked and unappreciated. And don't you see? And don't you hear? And you don't have any idea. I mean, that happened to me just, I think it was Monday or Tuesday morning. Like I had already had a whole day. It felt like a whole day. And by the time he got up and come in here, I was just, what as he calls it, spiraling. And I just had to
yeah,
stop and like, I shed some tears and was just like, yeah, I'm just overwhelmed today. Like it's a lot. There was a lot that had to be done. You know, for me, I have to compartmentalize my workday over here and overlook. I don't. I'm blessed. I don't want to leave and go to an office, but it's that's a struggle because all the stuff is still here, but I have to put my attention on my workday. And so I just was feeling overwhelmed. But I mean, all I had to do was turn my chair away from my desk and towards him, and he is my safe space. And we talked it through, and I told him, I'm like, this is all the things that I've done already this morning before you even got out of the bed that had to be done just for the sake of our life functioning. And now I have all this to do, and I'm overwhelmed. And he coddled me
yeah. I
and
mean,
you know he was my safe space. He heard me. He just let me say it however ridiculous it sounded. And cried, and then he prayed over me, and like things shifted.
And men, like, yeah, don't be afraid to embrace your wife without any other intentions. Just hug her and kiss her. Let her know that you love her and how much she's appreciated throughout the day. Because yeah, I mean, there's being at home lately. Like I'm like, bro, like I would never survive without her. Like somebody asked me what my social security number was the other day, and I was like, "What's that?"
Let me ask my administrative
Yeah,
assistant.
like three. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, moms do a lot, wives do a lot. I said it in the last one, like we are the administrative,
Yeah, I mean, there's
executive, administrative, CFO, do it all.
yeah.
But
Just
God
think about all the
equips us.
stuff. You're at work doing whatever your job is, and then your wife, mine, works from home, and she like. Uh, Sometimes I want to take her phone and go outside and just shoot it, like literally. But I mean, and all the other things that she does with me alone is a full time job. Plus, she's got three other humans that she that live here that she has to
That I micromanage.
that she micromanages. Plus, a fourth human now that's about to have a fifth human living here. So, and she still micromanages that one too. So, thank your wives, guys. Just thank your wives. I don't thank her enough and show her enough, but she's amazing. And
I know it. I mean, you do, but and my encouragement to the wives is to know the true intent of our husband's hearts, like whether he says it or not. The enemy will whisper, but again, you have to hear God's voice. And I know that God called me to this role, that I'm gifted, and being a mother who once wasn't living up to that role and risked losing it permanently, I never take that for granted. And I don't have to be told every day that I'm doing a great job, but I will say that that's my vulnerable spot. The enemy knows it because it's the most important ministry that I have.
she definitely will
Like
spiral
it's,
with
I
that.
mean, it is like if I choose to let the enemy's whispers be louder than what I know God says about me and serving my family, I will, because
And
that's
that's the times where like these our arguments or fights like come out too. Like homegirl, like whatever you're doing, stop because
it's
it's
not
not.
rational.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's literally that's stupid. Like there's no reason to think that
But I mean, it makes
whatsoever.
sense. I mean, it's the warfare. And yeah, the enemy knows it's important. He knows that's my weak spot. And again, if I'm not prayed up, if I'm not in the Word of God, if I'm not strengthened by the Spirit, he has his way
Yeah.
there, and it does happen. But
Oh, it definitely happens with both of us. So, and more so with me because, like I said earlier, I'm hard headed, and it takes a little bit more nudging and pushing for me with some things that I know I should be doing differently, but I mean, I'm gonna put my stuff out there. Like I have a horrible habit of saying stuff with saying stuff, anyways. Um, and I, do you want your kids saying it? No, no, because we had one of our kids yesterday. He said something. I laugh about it just because
He said a bad word.
how nonchalantly he done it, and it,
I'm like, what?
yeah, it was I like I felt I cringed inside.
Yeah.
Like, man, and
Which I don't
that's
know if he
not what
heard
I
that from
want.
school because that's not a word he hears around
Yeah,
here. I mean,
no,
it's not even a word that we even struggle with. And
yeah,
so he had to have heard it somewhere else. But
but
a
still,
boy
it
being a
was,
boy, but in the wrong way. So yeah,
yeah,
you hear it. God uses those kids as a mirror, and it's like, whoa,
yeah,
that'll get you. That's a whole
yes,
nother.
that's
That's a whole nother
that's what,
podcast.
ooh, yes.
Yes.
But
All right.
anyways,
Well,
we're
thank you for joining us this week. Like, subscribe, share, comment, give us some feedback.
yeah, and if y'all,
If you have certain topics you would like us to bring to the table, share them.
yeah, share them,
What do you do? This share them right there in the
yeah,
comments, right
somewhere,
there, wherever you're at. Yeah, and we'll see how the Lord leads. So
and like I think the subscribe. Oh, I was the wrong way. It's like subscribe would be like right
right
here.
there, right.
It's right here. She's
Okay, right.
like, where's she at?
All right. Thanks, guys.
But
We love you
I
all.
do want to say right quick, if y'all have anything that you don't want to comment out in public, you can private message us on Facebook.
Wives, husbands.
Yes, guys, don't message my wife.
Honey, don't be messaging my man. He ain't praying for you.
Yeah, we don't do that. Um, but yeah, just
Goodness.
yeah, if there's something, guys, if there's
We can
something
pray
that you
for you.
need, like, don't hesitate to reach out. Ladies, same way with Jessica. We are more than happy to help in any way we can.
Yeah. And just
So
continue to ask Jesus to come into your junk.
that's it.
That's all. I got.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. We'll see y'all later.